Let me ask you something. Are you still taking vitamin D every morning, hoping it'll help you build muscle, boost your mood, or increase your energy? Well, here's the truth. You might be missing the real nutrients that actually help your body use that vitamin D effectively. And without them, your muscle gains, energy, and even mood could stay flat, no matter how much D you take. Most people think that the answer to low energy, weak muscles, or poor bone health is to take more vitamin D. It's the go-to supplement everyone talks about, especially when you're feeling drained or not recovering well after workouts. You hear it everywhere. Vitamin D builds strong bones, boosts mood, and helps muscle performance. And while that's all true, the part that often gets overlooked is that vitamin D doesn't work on its own. It's not a one-man show. It's part of a team, a very specific biochemical process that depends on several other nutrients to actually do what it's supposed to do. The real problem is that most people are taking vitamin D in isolation, without understanding how it functions in the body. When you take vitamin D3, your body has to convert it into a form it can use. That conversion process happens in your liver and kidneys, and it relies heavily on enzymes that need other nutrients, like magnesium and vitamin K2, to function. Without those cofactors, vitamin D just sits there in your system, unactivated, like a key that doesn't fit the lock. You might have plenty of vitamin D in your bloodstream, but your body can't actually use it. Think about that for a second. You might be swallowing a capsule every morning, but if your body can't process it, you're not getting the benefits you think you are. Instead, you're creating an imbalance, and here's where things get tricky. Too much inactive vitamin D floating around without its partners can actually lead to calcium problems. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption from your food, but if vitamin K2 isn't there to direct that calcium into your bones and teeth, it can end up depositing in your soft tissues, your joints, arteries, or kidneys. Over time, this can lead to stiffness, calcification, and even cardiovascular issues. That's why people sometimes take high doses of vitamin D and still experience muscle cramps, tension, or fatigue. It's not that they're missing the D, they're missing what makes it work properly. And here's the surprising part. That imbalance can actually make you feel worse over time. You might notice that even though your blood test shows a good vitamin D level, you're still tired, your muscles feel heavy, or your recovery time after exercise is longer than it used to be. It's not a vitamin D deficiency, it's a vitamin D asterisk utilization asterisk problem. We live in a supplement culture that loves the idea of a quick fix. Pop a pill, solve the problem, but biology doesn't work that way. Nutrients don't act in isolation, they work in networks. When one piece is missing, the whole system struggles. Vitamin D's network includes magnesium, vitamin K2, zinc, and a few other trace minerals. Without them, that daily dose of D3 is like trying to start a car without a spark plug. Now, let's look at what this means for your muscles. Muscle growth and repair depend on calcium signaling, a process that tells your muscle fibers when to contract and relax. Vitamin D helps regulate that process, but again, it can only do that if it's active and balanced with magnesium and K2. If magnesium levels are low, those muscle contractions become inefficient. You might experience tightness, spasms, or general weakness. And if K2 is missing, calcium regulation goes haywire, and instead of building stronger muscle fibers, your body starts depositing calcium where it doesn't belong. So, when you think you're doing something good for your body by loading up on vitamin D, you might actually be setting yourself up for fatigue, poor muscle recovery, or even vascular calcification down the line. The more isolated vitamin D you take, the more your body draws from its magnesium stores to process it, Over time, that can deplete your magnesium reserves, leading to even more muscle tension, irregular heart rhythms, sleep issues, or headaches. It's a cycle that sneaks up on you, and the reason this problem is so common is simple. Most people's diets are already low in magnesium and K2. Modern agriculture has stripped the soil of many minerals. Processed foods have little to no nutrient density, and people shy away from natural sources of K2 like egg yolks, butter, cheese, and organ meats. So, when someone adds a daily vitamin D supplement on top of that, they're adding demand on a system that's already nutrient poor. This is why identifying the problem correctly matters so much. The issue isn't a vitamin D deficiency, it's a asterisk cofactor deficiency. Asterisk, it's the missing pieces of the puzzle that stop vitamin D from doing its job, and that's why some people feel worse after supplementing. They increase their D intake, but without magnesium and K2, their body can't balance it. The result is muscle cramps, bone aches, stiffness, or just a feeling that something's off. If you've ever taken vitamin D for months and noticed no real improvement, this is probably why. You weren't addressing the whole system. Vitamin D is like the manager who gives instructions, but without the workers' magnesium and K2, nothing gets done. The workers are the ones who move the calcium, activate the enzymes, and build the actual muscle tissue. When they're missing, the manager just stands around shouting orders into an empty room. The good news is that this problem is easy to fix once you understand it. You don't have to stop taking vitamin D altogether. You just have to take it smarter. By pairing it with its essential partners, you transform it from an isolated nutrient into a fully functional system. That's when the magic happens. That's when your muscles respond better to training, your bones get stronger, and your energy starts to climb naturally. So before you reach for another bottle of vitamin D, pause and ask yourself, am I giving my body the full support it needs to use this properly? Because if you're not, then that supplement might be doing a lot less than you think, and in some cases, a little harm along the way. The real solution isn't more vitamin D, it's asterisk better balance. Asterisk, once you fix that, your body can finally do what it's designed to do, build strength, restore energy, and keep you performing at your best for years to come. When your body can't use vitamin D properly, the effects start small, but they add up. You might notice that you feel sluggish during the day, even when you've slept well. You might have less motivation to exercise or find it harder to recover after you do. Over time, that lack of proper vitamin D function begins to affect how your muscles perform, how your bones repair, and even how your brain regulates mood and focus. It's not just about one vitamin, it's about how your body manages energy, strength, and resilience every single day. Let's talk about how this plays out in real life. Imagine someone who's been taking vitamin D faithfully because they heard it supports the immune system and helps with muscle growth. At first, it seems like the right move, but after a while, they notice they're still tired. Their workouts don't feel as strong, and they're not gaining the muscle tone they expected. That's because without magnesium and vitamin K2, vitamin D isn't being converted into its active form, and calcium isn't being sent where it needs to go. As a result, muscles don't contract as efficiently, nerves fire less smoothly, and recovery slows down. It's like trying to build a house without a foreman on site. The materials are there, but nothing's being put together correctly. Over time, that leads to structural problems, weak muscles, achy joints, and brittle bones. You might notice small signs first: muscle tightness after mild exercise, occasional cramping at night, or stiffness when getting out of bed. Those are your body's early warnings that it's not getting the right balance of nutrients. Over the long term, this imbalance doesn't just affect your workouts, it affects your entire quality of life. Low magnesium and poorly utilized vitamin D can lead to higher stress levels because magnesium is directly tied to how your body manages cortisol, your stress hormone. When magnesium is low, your nervous system becomes overstimulated, you feel more anxious, restless, or wired but tired. On top of that, muscle fatigue becomes more common because your cells can't generate energy efficiently without the full vitamin D magnesium partnership. So even basic activities, like walking upstairs or carrying groceries, start to feel heavier than they should. Bone health also takes a hit. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption, but without vitamin K2 to direct that calcium into your bones, much of it ends up circulating in your bloodstream. Over years, that can contribute to calcium deposits in the arteries, reducing flexibility and blood flow. This is one of the reasons why some people who take high doses of vitamin D long-term still experience bone density loss or joint pain. The calcium isn't being placed where it's needed. There's also an emotional side to this. Vitamin D is known to support serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter that influences mood and motivation. But again, this process depends on magnesium. When magnesium is lacking, serotonin production and regulation are impaired, and you might feel more irritable or mentally foggy. It's easy to think you're just having an off day or getting older, but often it's a nutritional imbalance quietly affecting your brain chemistry. All these effects build on each other. Poor muscle performance leads to less activity. Less activity leads to weaker bones and slower metabolism. That can result in weight gain, lower confidence, and more inflammation. It's a downward spiral that starts with something as simple as taking one nutrient in isolation. On the other hand, when vitamin D, K2, and magnesium work together, everything begins to click. Your energy feels steady, your muscles respond better, and your sleep improves because magnesium helps calm the nervous system at night. So when you notice your energy dipping or your strength plateauing, don't assume it's just a lack of motivation or aging. It's likely your body signaling that it needs balance, not more of one thing. By understanding how these nutrients interact, you can avoid the slow decline that so many people mistake for just getting older. What's really happening is that your body's systems aren't getting the coordination they need to function at full strength. And once you fix that, you start to feel younger, stronger, and more capable, not because of a magic pill, but because your body is finally getting what it needs to work the way it's supposed to. Now that you understand the problem, the next step is finding a solution that actually works. The good news is your body already knows what to do, it just needs the right raw materials. The two vitamins that make the biggest difference in how your body uses vitamin D are vitamin K2 and magnesium. These two nutrients don't get nearly the attention they deserve, but they're the missing link that can completely change how your muscles grow, how your bones stay strong, and how your energy levels feel day to day. Let's start with vitamin K2. Most people have heard of vitamin K1 because it's involved in blood clotting, but K2 is a different story. K2's main role is to make sure calcium goes to the right places in your body. It acts almost like a GPS system for calcium. When you consume calcium, either from food or because vitamin D increases your absorption, K2 directs it into your bones and teeth instead of letting it settle into your arteries, joints, or soft tissues. Without K2, calcium can build up where it shouldn't, leading to stiffness, calcified arteries, and joint pain. With enough K2, that same calcium strengthens your skeleton and teeth, giving your muscles a stable foundation to grow from. There are two main forms of K2, MK4 and MK7. MK4 is found in animal products like egg yolks, butter, and liver. MK7 comes from fermented foods like natto, a traditional Japanese soybean dish. Both forms are beneficial, but MK7 stays active in the body longer, which makes it easier to maintain healthy levels. The problem is that most modern diets are low in K2 because people have moved away from these traditional, nutrient-dense foods. When you switch to lean or low-fat products and skip organ meats or fermented foods, you unintentionally cut out one of the most important nutrients for long-term health. Now let's talk about magnesium, the quiet workhorse of the body. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions, including how your body converts vitamin D into its active form. It's the spark that helps your enzymes turn vitamin D into something your cells can use. Without it, vitamin D supplements can actually drain your magnesium reserves because your body uses magnesium to process them. That's why some people experience muscle cramps, irritability, or trouble sleeping when they start taking vitamin D. It's depleting their already low magnesium stores. Magnesium also helps regulate muscle contraction and relaxation. If you've ever experienced twitching eyelids or leg cramps, that's a sign your magnesium might be low. For muscle growth and recovery, this mineral is non-negotiable. It supports protein synthesis, helps your body produce ATP, the main energy molecule, and keeps inflammation under control. It's the mineral that allows your muscles to work hard and then fully relax afterward, preventing tightness and fatigue. So how do you get these nutrients naturally? Start with food. For vitamin K2, include more eggs, especially those from pasture-raised hens, since their yolks are richer in K2. Add grass-fed butter or aged cheeses like Gouda and Brie. They're excellent sources of MK7. If you enjoy trying new things, fermented foods like natto, sauerkraut, and kimchi, I can also help boost your K2 intake. For magnesium, think green and earthy. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are great plant-based sources. Nuts and seeds, especially pumpkin seeds and almonds, are excellent options too. Whole grains, avocados, and dark chocolate also provide good amounts of magnesium. If you prefer a simpler approach, a high-quality magnesium supplement, especially magnesium glycinate or citrate, can fill in the gaps. These forms are well absorbed and gentle on the stomach. The key is balance. When you combine vitamin D, K2, and magnesium, they work in harmony. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption, K2 directs that calcium into your bones, and magnesium makes the entire process possible. This synergy improves not only muscle tone, but also cardiovascular health and mental clarity. You'll notice more steady energy, fewer cramps, and a stronger sense of overall well-being. To make it practical, start your day with a breakfast that includes these nutrients. Scramble 2 eggs in grass-fed butter and add a handful of spinach on the side. Sprinkle pumpkin seeds or almonds on top. If you prefer a smoothie, blend spinach, almond milk, a scoop of protein powder, and a small amount of Greek yogurt or kefir for a natural dose of K2. If you take supplements, choose a D3 plus K2 combination and pair it with your meal. This helps with absorption since all 3 of these nutrients are fat-soluble or work better when taken with healthy fats. Consistency matters more than quantity. You don't need to take massive doses. Just make sure you're giving your body what it needs every day. The small habits add up. Over a few weeks, your muscles will feel more responsive, your recovery time will shorten, and your energy will start to feel smoother instead of peaking and crashing. It's also important to stay hydrated. Magnesium functions best when your body's electrolyte balance is stable. Drinking enough water, especially if you're active or sweat a lot, helps your cells use magnesium effectively. Add a pinch of sea salt to your water or include mineral-rich foods to maintain that balance. One of the biggest advantages of focusing on K2 and magnesium is that you're not just helping vitamin D, you're supporting your entire metabolic system. Strong bones, flexible arteries, calm nerves, and steady muscles all depend on these nutrients working together. You're creating a foundation for your health instead of chasing short-term fixes. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need a complicated supplement routine or an expensive stack of pills. You just need to work with your body's natural design. Give it the nutrients it was meant to have, in the form it knows how to use. The difference you'll feel isn't just physical. It's mental clarity, confidence, and that deep sense of strength that comes from knowing your body is running the way it should. So the next time you think about taking vitamin D, remember this: it's not about how much you take, but how well your body can use it. Pair it with vitamin K2 and magnesium, nourish yourself with real food, and let your body do what it was designed to do: build muscle, generate energy, and keep you strong for life. When it comes to changing your health, knowing what to do is one thing, actually doing it is another. The best way to make any health habit stick is to keep it simple, practical, and consistent. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. You just need to make a few smart adjustments to your morning routine so your body has the right nutrients to start the day strong. Once those changes become a habit, your energy, strength, and focus will naturally follow. Let's start with something easy: breakfast. Most people either skip it, grab something processed on the go, or eat a carb-heavy meal that spikes their blood sugar. None of that supports your muscle growth, recovery, or metabolism. Instead, think of breakfast as your first opportunity to set your body up for success. This is where you can easily include the key nutrients, vitamin D, K2, and magnesium, without much effort. Here's a simple example. Start your day with 2 eggs cooked in grass-fed butter or olive oil. Eggs are a natural source of vitamin K2, protein, and healthy fats. Add a handful of sautéed spinach or kale to get magnesium, fiber, and antioxidants. If you want a little extra, sprinkle some pumpkin seeds on top. They're one of the best plant sources of magnesium and add a nice crunch. This kind of meal is nutrient-dense, satisfying, and supports your hormones, muscle function, and energy production. If you prefer something lighter, a smoothie works just as well. Blend unsweetened almond milk with a scoop of protein powder, a handful of spinach, and a tablespoon of nut butter. The greens give you magnesium, the protein supports muscle repair, and the fat from the nut butter helps you absorb fat-soluble vitamins like D and K2. You can even add a probiotic yogurt or kefir to the mix for gut health, which indirectly supports nutrient absorption and overall energy. For people who prefer to take supplements, timing matters. Always take vitamin D and K2 with a meal that contains healthy fat like avocado, eggs, or nut, so your body can absorb them properly. Magnesium can be taken in the morning or evening depending on your routine. If you struggle with sleep or muscle cramps at night, taking magnesium before bed can help relax your muscles and improve rest. If you're someone who drinks coffee first thing in the morning, that's fine. Just make sure you eat soon after. Caffeine can deplete magnesium, so it's even more important to include magnesium-rich foods in your breakfast. And if you're in a rush, even something as simple as a hard-boiled egg, a piece of cheese, and a handful of almonds can give your body what it needs to activate vitamin D and keep your energy stable. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. You'll see results not because you made one big change, but because you made small, sustainable changes you can actually stick with. Over time, your body will start responding. You'll notice you have fewer cravings mid-morning, your workouts feel stronger, and you recover faster afterward. Those are signs your muscles are getting the support they need from within. The key is to think in terms of building habits rather than chasing results. Anyone can take a supplement for a few weeks, but lasting health comes from creating a rhythm that supports your body daily. When your first meal of the day includes the right mix of nutrients, you set your metabolism on the right track and your muscles stay fueled for whatever comes next. These aren't complicated changes. You don't need fancy recipes or special products. You just need to make intentional choices, real food, the right combinations, and a focus on balance. Over time, that becomes second nature. You stop thinking about dieting or supplementing and start living in a way that naturally supports your body's strength and energy. When you begin your morning with nutrient-rich foods and the right vitamins, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're training your body to thrive. Every meal becomes a small step toward better performance, more energy, and a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The biggest mistake most people make when they start improving their health is expecting instant results. We live in a culture that rewards quick fixes, but your body doesn't work that way. Real change happens gradually through consistent habits that build on each other over time. You can take the best supplements and eat all the right foods, but if you only do it for a few days or weeks, your body never gets the chance to adapt. Consistency, not intensity, is what transforms your health. Think about how muscle growth works. You don't go to the gym once and expect visible results the next day. You show up regularly, challenge your muscles a little at a time, and over weeks, they grow stronger. Nutrition works the same way. Every meal you eat, every time you move your body, every night you get good sleep, it all adds up. It's the small, daily choices that shape your long-term strength, energy, and resilience. When it comes to vitamin D, K2, and magnesium, consistency is even more important because these nutrients work best when your body has a steady supply. Taking them sporadically won't give you the full benefit. Your muscles and bones rely on these nutrients being available in your bloodstream every day to keep building and repairing. That's why skipping meals, overtraining, or neglecting recovery can undo progress. You have to treat your body like a long-term investment, not a short-term project. Start with one change and stick to it. Maybe that means adding magnesium-rich foods like spinach or pumpkin seeds to your breakfast every morning. Or it could be taking your vitamin D3 plus K2 supplement with your first meal of the day. Keep it simple. Once that habit feels automatic, add another small change, like staying hydrated throughout the day or stretching before bed. Over time, these small actions compound into powerful results. Your mindset plays a big role too. Consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means persistence. You're going to have days when you forget, when you eat something less nutritious, or when you skip a workout. That's normal. What matters is getting back on track the next day without guilt. The people who see lasting results aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who don't quit when things get tough. Another important part of consistency is routine. Your body thrives on rhythm. When you wake up, eat, move, and rest around the same times each day, your hormones, digestion, and metabolism all work more efficiently. This makes it easier to build muscle, maintain energy, and sleep well. For example, taking your vitamins with breakfast at the same time every day helps your body regulate absorption and keeps your nutrient levels stable. You'll also notice that the benefits of consistency show up in subtle ways first. You might start sleeping better, feeling calmer, or recovering faster after exercise. These are signs that your body is getting the nourishment it needs. With time, those small improvements grow into visible changes, stronger muscles, more stamina, and a more balanced mood. It's not dramatic, but it's steady, and that's what makes it sustainable. The real reward of consistent habits is freedom. When you take care of your health every day, you don't have to rely on willpower or motivation. Your habits do the work for you. You start to feel naturally energetic, clear, headed and strong, not because you're forcing it, but because your body is functioning the way it's meant to. Consistency isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things regularly enough that your body can trust you. Once it does, everything starts to flow. Your energy stabilizes, your strength improves, and you begin to see that health isn't about intensity, it's about rhythm, patience, and commitment. That's the mindset that keeps your progress going for life. At some point, information has to turn into inspiration. Knowing what to do is valuable, but the real change happens when you start to believe that your daily choices can truly transform the way you feel, look, and live. Building muscle and improving health isn't just about vanity. It's about strength, longevity, and the confidence that comes from taking control of your body. When you nourish yourself the right way, you don't just change your physical state, you shift your mindset, your energy, and your outlook on life. Think about how powerful it feels to wake up with energy instead of dragging yourself out of bed. Imagine going through your day with a steady focus, clear thinking, and the strength to handle whatever comes your way. That's what happens when your body finally has the nutrients it's been missing. Vitamin D, K2, and magnesium aren't just supplements, they're fuel for your entire system. They work quietly behind the scenes, supporting your muscles, bones, brain, and mood so you can perform at your best. When your body works well, everything else in your life starts to work better too. There's something deeply motivating about realizing that you can influence how your body feels every day. You're not just a product of genetics or age, you're the result of your habits. If you felt tired, weak, or discouraged, you can change that. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. Every balanced meal, every good night's sleep, every morning you start with intention builds momentum. Before long, those small changes create visible and lasting results. Your muscles are a reflection of your discipline, but they're also a reflection of your health. Strong muscles protect your joints, stabilize your posture, and support your metabolism. When you focus on feeding your body the right nutrients instead of chasing trends or quick fixes, your strength becomes sustainable. You start to feel capable in your body, like it's working with you instead of against you. That's a powerful shift because it builds trust. You begin to trust that your effort pays off, that consistency matters, and that your body is resilient when given the right care. It's also important to remember that motivation comes from progress, not perfection. You won't feel inspired every day, but you don't need to. What keeps you going is the quiet satisfaction of seeing your body respond to your consistency, the easier workouts, the better sleep, the calmer mood. When you notice those small wins, celebrate them. They're signs that your system is healing and strengthening from the inside out. If you ever lose motivation, remind yourself why you started. Maybe it's to feel stronger for your family, to protect your long-term health, or to break free from constant fatigue. Those reasons are your foundation. When you focus on them, the process becomes more meaningful. You stop chasing numbers on a scale and start chasing the feeling of strength and vitality. That's when staying consistent stops being a chore and starts being something you look forward to. Your body is incredibly adaptive. It's always listening to what you do. If you give it the right inputs, it will reward you with energy, focus, and strength. If you feed it poorly or neglect it, it slows down. That's not punishment. It's just biology. The good news is, you can always start fresh. No matter where you're at right now, one healthy meal, one good workout, or one night of proper rest can start to shift things in the right direction. So let this be your reminder, you are not powerless in your health. You have more control than you think. When you take care of your body, it gives back generously. The vitamins, minerals, and habits you've learned about aren't just tools. There are opportunities to live with more energy, strength, and confidence every day. Keep going, stay consistent, and remember that the best version of yourself isn't waiting somewhere in the future. It's being built right now, one choice at a time. So tomorrow morning, skip the plain vitamin D pill. Instead, give your body the full support it needs, vitamin K2 and magnesium. Fuel your body the smart way and watch your strength, mood, and energy come alive. You've got one body. Treat it like it's the only one you'll ever have, because it is. Start today.